welcome to the Vice. Today we're going to tie a tube fly, my favorite tube fly for fishing in the Danish rivers for sea trout at night. The fly is tied on a plastic tube, 2 millimeters, and has a flat disc in 6 millimeters in the front of the fly. The disc will push the water, catch the current, and make a bit of more traction on the fly, makes the fly swing a bit more, create some turbulence in the water. The trouts just love it. So let's get going. First of all, just heat the plastic tube in the rear end, turn it around, and in the front end just make a small collar so the disc won't leave the tube, like this, making sure the tube is firmly set on the needle so it won't rotate, and then attaching the thread. And this will make the fly almost glow at night. The effect of this is quite high, so even though it seems as the tube is almost clear, this will make a big difference. I just put a small layer of varnish on the tube before turning this, so it will get in between and give me a quite strong fly all the way up like this. If you want to, you can add a bit of weight to the fly. If you won't or don't add weight to it, it will fish just below the surface. If you add a bit of weight up here, you can use lead-free wire or a small US tube or whatever. It will go a bit further down in the water, but this one will make without adding weight, so it will fish just below the surface. First section of the wing or long tail, if you like to call it that, will make in a wide, quite stiff hair, so it will lift the rest of the softer wing we'll attach later. Just tie it in like this. On top of it, we'll just give it a few strands of this goat hair to make a nice contrast, and these long thin hairs will swim in the water. They are quite nice to blend in like this. This will give me a slim, long profile on the fly that really swims in the water. But when we fish at night time, we like some that will push some water, make some noise. This flat disc will do that, but we'll be adding a bit of dubbing up at the front end of the fly to give it a more bulky look up here. Move a bit more water, get some more silhouette on it. And just go backwards all the way, make sure it's covered, and then forward again. There was a bit of red dubbing in it. And the color, this black one with a bit of purple glitter in it, that's the sea trout just loves that combo. And all the way to the front end there. And I'll get my Velcro and give it a nice brushing. And I'll just cut some of the longest fibers like this. Then we'll add some rubber legs. You can leave them out if you don't want to use them, but they'll, especially when you're fishing in the slower rivers, they will just create a lot of movement even though the current is slow. So just tie them in, give it just a figure of 8. Turn with the dubbing on it, you got the whole thing covered. Then onto the upper wing, and this is softer hair, shorter and softer, and I'll tie it in so it will melt together with the long tail, so you have the tear-shaped up here, a tear-shaped fly, and with the long tail that creates a lot of movement. So that's why I tie this tail the way I do. Just make sure, I think it's something around here. Pull it in. And I think this one can get underneath. And then I'll just give the thread a drop or two of varnish like this to create a stronger fly. Take one of these small hackle feathers and just tie them in the tip of the feather. When you do, the stem is quite thin, so with the first turn or two, gotta be careful not to put too much tension on the feather, because it will break. Just bend the Like this. Giving it, oh, there you go. How not to do it. Just give it a go once again. Just tie it in the tippet and not put too much tension on it. But as soon as the first turn is done, it's normally no problem from there. And just cut away the stem. Giving it some varnish on the thread. Nope. The feather just slipped. There you go. And just cut away the thread and split the legs like this. Ready to fish the Danish rivers. When you mount the hook in the tubes or on the tubes, you can just fish it, put the line through, let the hook hang loose. Just see here. You can use the single hook, double hook, triple hook, whatever you prefer. And you can attach a small silicone tubing to protect the knot. You can put the tubing up to the 2mm tube and fish it like this, where it's fixed. Or you can, if the sea trouts just nips in the back end of the fly, you can take a longer silicone tubing, attach it and move the hook all the way to the back end of the fly. So when you got these careful sea trout takes, it will get the hook. One flathead tube fly ready.